So that is one thing that really shows us why God is so amazing. Why? Because people only know, or God can tell us the future, but also God can rewind and also tells us about the past. It is really something possible in God.
Yeah, so what's up guys? Welcome again to the show. You know, this is the place tunajita True Light Tower, the place yenye una receive much light and understanding, especially through the word of God, what tunakugive each and every flow pole pole hadi unaelewa vitu. So now by the count we have done a lot of episodes. Hata bado pia leo we have another one, and as you can see we have another guest hapo hivi kando yetu, and he's really dressed well. Maybe kwa wale wenye they are always on the channel viewing a lot of things, he's also even someone common there, because I remember there was this a little documentary. It was about what would you want someone to know about True Light Center. He was the first person mwenye alikuwa kwa hiyo vida, and he mentioned a lot of things yenye baadaye alikuwa na wish maybe someone ajue about the True Light Center, maybe just to enlighten you a bit. He's even also an instructor of that True Light Center organization, mwenye bado anapeananga this word to some people at a different location hapa hivi Kenya. So before ni mention maybe like a lot of things, maybe let me just give him a chance, then introduce herself so that now we can get to know him much better. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm really honored to be on this platform today. And for those who have not known my name yet, my name is Kelvin Omega. Yeah, so many people ask me, where is that name coming from? I don't know. I just got it from the parents. So that is my name, and instructor True Light. And it's really a great honor and a privilege to be together with you. And through this sharing, I believe it is going to be a lot of blessing, and also it is going to bring a lot of enlightenment to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, so as you have heard, anaitwa Kelvin Omega. Yani Kelvin ya mwisho. Nasemaje kwa Kiswahili?
Yes. In the Bible they say Mungu ni Alpha na Omega.
Yeah.
So it is just coincidentally that is my grandfather's name. So I don't know whether it was Bible inspired. Maybe it is just a coincidence. So
yeah, but though it's a very wonderful name, because imesi watu wengi wenye kuna hiyo jina. Yeah. Kwanza that part Omega like say much about you. But don't say anyway, I'm so proud even because of your name. You've been doing something great, especially to give the word of God. I think labda maybe too good alikuwa like sort that way, so that now at the end now you can even give his word. And it's wakati wa mwisho, now the Omega inasa word yake sasa.
I assume maybe. Yeah, maybe it's not a coincidence. It was maybe the plan of God.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, now the lesson that now we are going to discuss today in a deal much about the history, but though it's a very long history, because the title of the lesson inaitwa 6,000 years of God history, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
So now that's the lesson in which we're going to discuss today. So now even through our instructor Kelvin hapa hivi, it's now going to take us slowly by slowly, then tutaelewa haya historia ya miaka 6,000 ya Biblia. So like for you even maybe to get maybe kama that clear picture, najua tumesikia story mingi like zile za ajabu, majorly mtani kuna masamanga stories za ajabu, unaona zile za uongo. Our grandparents hata bado still wametuambia stories za maybe wazazi wao, na maybe the years that now they now even tell us those stories, majorly they are like maybe 6 years before, 7 years ama 10 years. But now the story yenye sasa tunataka kusikia leo ni ya miaka 6,000 ya Biblia. Yani ni kama ile yenye DJ Afro anasemanga, kaa chini tukupeleke huko hivyo nyuma ile vitu mingi. So please even the viewers, tega masikio yako vizuri, then now let us get now this part interesting, because tunaenda kuenda miaka mingi huko hivyo nyuma through our dereva hapa hivi Mr. Kelvin atueleze pole hiyo story ilikuwa inaendaje. So please do not switch off your phone, and even kama ni TV usizime pia. And even also, if you are new to this channel, please consider your subscription, because it will boost even our hearts even to make a lot of video, so that even you can get much enlightened, especially for these days that you are living. So now I want to Kelvin, karibu sana, please maybe unaweza kutu introduce kwa hiyo topic then we take us to the story tuelewe hayo miaka 6,000 ya historia ya Biblia. Welcome.
Yeah, so thank you so much, my host, and about 6,000. So just by the length of time, you know, it is not a very short time.
Yeah, it's very long.
Yeah, because even if you ask many people about the history of their generations, they can only mention maybe up to 100 years back. But now 6,000 years, it is really a lot of time.
A lot.
Yeah, so I really believe for someone to know history, not only just in the Bible, about where they came from, it is very essential. Why?
Yeah.
You can know up to the point where you have reached, what happened for you to reach that point.
Yeah.
The good things, the bad things, and even it can make you plan and understand the future.
Yes.
So any person that doesn't have that idea of what was able to happen in the past, there is like a very big gap. Why? It can be very hard for him to move forward and also learn from what was able to occur before. So about why it comes to 6,000 years, because even from the title itself, inaweza leta questions nyingi na controversy, because researchers, many people, they trace their history past 6,000 years, but we're just narrowing down to the Bible, because every single thing that I'm going to be explaining, it is within the confines of the Bible. The answers are there, because I really don't want to go beyond what is written. Yeah, because if I go beyond what is written, then maybe I'll be adding my own thing inside. So how it boils down, and also it comes to 6,000 years, we can just begin from the very first man that recorded the Bible. Some people can assume maybe it is Adam, but not Adam at all. It's not Adam. Of course, he's the first person that appears as being created in the image of God and being given the breath of life. But actually, the person that records the Bible came almost 2,500 years after Adam. That is Moses. So it means that for all that period of time, the events were going down, but there was no written account. No one was shown. They were just going down. It's like how you live, and then you're living with your grandpa or your great grandpa, and they tell you, "Oh, kulikuwaga hivi," but there was no written account until Moses appeared.
So how did it happen? Ndio aliandika sasa.
So that is one thing that really shows us why God is so amazing. Why? Because people only know, oh, God can tell us the future, but also God can rewind and also tells us about the past. It is really something possible in God. Yeah, it is really possible. So it means that whatever Moses recorded, it was an account of 2,500 years before he existed.
That's really amazing. Yeah.
So maybe someone can ask, how does it come down? Like, how does the numbers add up? Yeah, so of course it is like more of an approximation, but we know very well, even as we go through the genealogy, for instance, when you go to Genesis 5, from Adam to Seth to the next son, then all the way to Noah, you can be able to see the generations and even the years. So if you calculate from Adam all the way to Noah, roughly 1,000 years. Then after Noah, that is now Noah to Abraham, that is Genesis 11, roughly 1,000 years. So that is already 2,000 years. And in the Bible, there is a very big connection between Abraham and Moses, because there were some things that were promised to Abraham, that is now in Genesis chapter 15 and also 17, about his descendants being enslaved for 400 years. And after, then they are going to come out with great possession. But even though these were things that were given to Abraham just like a mere promise or prophecy, he never saw them with his own eyes, but he believed. So many years later, because there is also a link between Moses and Abraham. We know Abraham, of course, he had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael, but Ishmael was not chosen. Isaac was chosen. Then Isaac goes on to give birth to Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the chosen one, whom later is called Israel. And then within Jacob 12 sons, we had Levi. That is now the priesthood family. That is where Moses came from. So then Levi, Amram, Kohath, and then Moses himself. So maybe from Jacob all the way to Moses, like 4 generations. So it means that there is a link between Moses and Abraham. So when you calculate that period, because it was almost extended to around 430, so that gap between Abraham and Moses, approximately 500 years. So meaning that at the time Moses was recording things that happened before, it was just a an account God gave him to make him understand what happened before. So it means that up to this point that I've explained, it is now 2,500 years. But one more interesting thing, as Moses was recording, people can wonder, was he really in a position to understand what he was recording or not?
Exactly.
People can say he understood, which is not really true, because you see that streaming of that timeline, there is a particular point whereby God mentions that yes, there's some things you can record, even yourself you can record, but you cannot understand.
Yeah, exactly.
So even before I come to Moses, Daniel, who is like a famous prophet, in Daniel chapter 12 verse 8 to 9, he was recording things about the future, but he was wondering, even though I'm recording, I myself, I cannot understand. And then he's really asking God, what is the meaning? But he's told, go your way, the things have been sealed until the end. So something very interesting, you record something but you yourself have not understood why. God can only allow at the appointed time, and if he allows, but if he cannot allow, someone cannot know why. What I do believe, the precious things of God, unless the fulfillment time appears, no one can be able to know, because it's like a secret of heaven. Maybe if we get another chance, we shall know about the war between God and Satan. So if you really want to achieve something, that plans and everything, it is like hidden from the enemy, because not everyone can be trusted. So I was just using that example of Daniel, because even Moses, though he merely recorded 2,500 years of events, in Deuteronomy 29 verse 4, it is clearly mentioned that up to this day, God has not given the mind that understand, the eyes that see, and the ears that hear. So I'll try to simplify it in this manner. I cannot say that maybe anyone can take the Bible. If you know English or whatever the language the Bible is recorded, you can just read it and just from a superficial level, and then you see yes, blah blah blah. But we have some deeper things that are hidden inside. Okay. Let me use this analogy. For instance, let me ask you, if I give you this question, is a watermelon maybe red or green? So how can you answer that question?
Okay. If I say both, is it right?
Yeah, it is right. Actually, that question can bring different kind of answers, which are all of them are very true depending on the perspective. For instance, someone that has never maybe took a watermelon, cut it open and see the inside, will just say it is green, and is right. But from even a biological or a nutritional point of view, the important part that I need to eat instead of the watermelon is the red part.
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning that I have to break it open, and then after breaking it open, then that is when I can be able to get whatever is going to benefit my body. So if, for instance, what if we found someone taking the watermelon, then is licking the green part? It looks weird. But my point here is, yes, you can just read the Bible from the surface, but at the end of the day, you have not really got the intention and the purpose of God. Maybe just I don't want maybe to go outside, but I'm trying to explain what that content in Deuteronomy means. Because in Matthew 13, they explain heaven in many ways: a seed planted, tree growing, birds perching. From a superficial just point of view, you can read it and then you see from a natural point, it makes sense. But what if I see a tree? Does that mean it is heaven? And many examples: fisherman casting a net, many examples. That is what I'm saying. There is the upper part and also the inner part. That is the part that God really understands, because the one that just maybe reads from the superficial part ni kama mwenye na lick watermelon ile part ya green.
Okay.
Na ile part ya orange yenye ajaikata akaanza kula ile ya red, he has not, and that is the part that God wants us to understand. They are the folded part of it.
Important.
So no doubt Moses recorded, but the things that God meant people to understand, they are set to be understood at the time of the end. Then what is this time of the end that they're speaking about? Now, already I've mentioned about the 2,500 years before Moses, and then the story goes on.
Okay.
Because we know from Moses himself all the way to Jesus, 1,500 years.
Okay.
Because they settled in Canaan maybe after conquering 500 years, so that is now already 3,000. Then that after settling in Canaan all the way to Jesus, 1,000 years. So what if we really want the proof in the genealogy, that is in Matthew 1, you can see the gap between Abraham, 2,000 years in Jesus. And from Adam to Abraham, 2,000. That is already 4,000. And since our Lord Jesus Christ came on earth, until today is 2,000. So maybe now let us now move to the point where Jesus is. So because someone can think that, yes, Jesus appearing, maybe that was the end of the world, but I can feel it like a middle point. Because even when Jesus was preaching the gospel of heaven, according to Matthew 13 verse 34 to 35, he spoke using parables again. So meaning that even the very things from the beginning that God meant people to understand, even at the time of Jesus, not all of them were unfolded. So Jesus came and he ushered more mysteries. Of course, he unraveled some, but also he ushered more mysteries, of which he mentioned that even though he spoke figuratively, a time is coming when he'll no longer use that kind of language, but he'll tell us plainly. So when they mention plainly, that is now the deeper part of the Bible, that God has hidden from the very beginning, that he wants all believers to be able to understand. So now, I do believe many believers and Christians outside there, they are eagerly awaiting for Jesus. And it is a question of that time that Jesus mentioned, things will be given more plainly. Is it today or it is what time? Because let's say if I go through the mysteries, I go to the gospel of the first coming, I go to the things that probably they don't make sense in Genesis, and what if at this point they are understood, then it means it's the time. Because if I ask this question, which is the most blessed time to exist? Moses' time, Jesus' time today, or that time when things are opened? I think it is the time when things are opened. Because it is a question of the knowledge of God that has been hidden from the very beginning, that has not been unraveled. The one that lives at the time when this knowledge is revealed, it is the most blessed time. It is the most blessed time. So if someone can be at that time and then he understands, I think is more blessed than Jesus' time when he appeared at the time of the first coming, and even Moses' time. But I do believe up to this point that you're living, it is the most blessed time for someone to live. If you go to the parables that Jesus explained, to all the things that seem not having like an answer, but I can understand today, it is the most blessed time. But now for God to deliver, he won't just use any person. At the time of the first coming, according to Matthew chapter 11 verse 27, Jesus mentioned clearly that no one knows the Father except the Son, and no one knows the Son except whom the Son shall choose to reveal himself. So what I can be able to mention basically is the understanding of God at the appointed time for someone that is eagerly seeking for it. He can be able to reveal through his vessel, which is a person. So the most important thing is I can be able to mention is today people must be able to have thus to be able to understand if this is really the time, and we get to understand the things that were not known before in the Bible. It is the most blessed time to live. So I know I have spoken a lot, but I believe through what you have shared, also you can be able to ask many questions. It's like a brief lesson, but actually it breaks down the outline of how God has been working until the time of today. So even though people can say, yes, if you learn too much of the Bible, it is not healthy. It is healthy because the reason why God gave it to us is for us to understand at the time. So what I can be able to mention, we must try to study, to seek, and even through this sharing, if God really has been able to use his person as a vessel, someone that is living today, it is the most blessed time for someone to live at the time of the day.
Okay.
Yes.
But though, I have a question. So about these 600 years of God's Bible history, then it has happened since wakati ya Adam until this our time that now we are living today. So say me like in all of those years, because it is so long, it is so long, and even ilikuwa with a lot of chaos pita hapa na pale, especially kwa time ya judges ilikuwa chaotic sana. And even remember one time I reading the book of Judges, ukasema inakuwa ni this time kwa God alikuwa ameamua aje, ilikuwa tu ni vita tu yote tu, fighting. So say me now the main intention of now God going through all of those 600 years for history ya Biblia. So now at the end, what does he really want to achieve at the end? Now the Alpha and the Omega.
Thank you so much. What I can mention, maybe let me just use this verse. That is now 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 27 to 28. God wants to be all in all. Like when you're speaking all, it is the concept of the entire creation in its entirety, to dwell with creation. But from the nature of God himself that is mentioned through the Bible, God is very holy. And wherever God comes and dwells, it must be a clean and a holy and a sanctified place. Yeah, so just like a brief introduction of what happened in the beginning, when God created everything in accordance with Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 27, every single thing that God created, he looked at it and he saw it was good, meaning that creation was perfect. There was no default, but we know what happened after Adam eating the fruit. There was like a sin. There was like a sin. So holiness and sin, they cannot be in contact. So God was together with man, but after Adam sinned, there was a disconnection. It's like even you, let's say you have differences, or you're not in good terms with your parents. Maybe there is a particular period in time whereby the relationship is like maybe broken. But we know there is always that love of the parent in the child. No matter the differences, no matter what has gone wrong, especially the parent will have that longing. Indeed, I need to be with my child. So if we know very well God is holy, he is the source of life and blessings, at the very beginning, that was the portion of man before he sinned. But now, if now God lives, you can think it of like a building. You can think of it like a building. If a building was having an owner and it is abandoned, many things can happen if there is no one to take care of it. Maybe if it is just left unattended, any person that is like doesn't have a place to live, like a street person, like it is not going to be taken care of the same way it was at the beginning. So we know the desire of the devil is always to dwell or occupy the place of God, because according to Ezekiel 28, he wanted to become like God. So wherever God has been, that is where he wants. It's like a competition. Let's say kuna gold and then two people are fighting, it's like a tug of war. So God living mankind, it doesn't mean that God really hated man, but he wanted that problem to be resolved so that it can be a clean temple. That's why through the many messengers, because I've mentioned of Abraham, Moses, Noah, and even we have many prophets, many judges. So the problem is God always has been giving his command, but the problem is the people, and also Satan always try to deceive them, persecute them, so that he can still hold on to creation. So the reason why the stories goes on and on again, the people of God have always been deceived. That's why you see the many errors. We see now Adam appearing, then Noah coming and judging the generation with the flood, then Ham does something, then God leads the generation of Noah, chooses Abraham, gives us the promise of going out from Egypt to Canaan, and then they go out and then they enter Judges. So of course they had to kill them because it was the command according to Deuteronomy chapter 7, because you know Canaan was a descendant of Ham. So whatever God spoke, they had to be conquered. So why does it go on and on again? Because the devil is trying to hold on to the creation through deception, through testing, through persecution. Why? If someone has stolen something and is a thief, you think that person readily returns whatever is stolen? But of course, God already had a plan to finish everything from the end. So it means that in the Bible, especially the last book in the Bible, outlines how God is able to restore everything. They mention about the dragon being captured by a great ship. So That is the purpose that God said at a particular point in time. You're getting it?
Yeah, I get it.
But now even that plan and everything, it was something that was hidden. But when this book, that is the last book in the Bible, is fulfilled, every single thing is able to be opened, and the work of Satan is exposed, and God completes his work. So it's like a story that goes on and on until a particular point in time when it is finished. But what has been the problem? Satan still holding on to the creation through persecution, testing, deception. But now the last book in the Bible explains how this final story is over. And when this final story is over, it's like exposing the work of Satan to the point whereby he can no longer continue with the tactics. Why? His schemes are brought to an end through the open word that we mentioned about. The one that Jesus mentioned, that things shall be told plainly at the time of it. Okay. So I know I have gone through a lot of stories, but I've tried to summarize it in such a way that to explain why it has taken so long. But when the last book in the Bible, every single story comes to an end, and the enemy of God and also all those who belong to him are completely wiped out.
Yeah. Okay. So God now is aiming at the end, he defeat his enemy, especially Satan himself, because yeye ndio aliba all of the creation. Hiyo wakati ya kwanza iko hiyo. Okay. Asa. So but don't say me anyway, I have seen we may explain briefly. Niseme ni story mingi. So seme kama msee akihitaji much knowledge, you just visit the center now. Yeah. So anyway, if now you want to get much of history ya Biblia, just join now the Trulight Center, which you go in many locations and offer this chance freely. Especially because in Nairobi we are located in so many areas. Visit it. Kawangware, Kibra, Karen pia. Karen iko Nairobi.
Yeah, sure. Karen is in.
Yeah, tuko places mingi. So same if you just walk then ulizie place in Ajita Trulight Center, you will surely receive this words because ni kama like a scholarship program. Inapatana kwa watu wote free. Visit it. Yeah. So now our instructor Kelvin, maybe tukimalizia maybe if you just maybe have maybe few words just like in a minute you will want maybe to tell someone outside there unajua itamsaidia sana, maybe what you can do for your security level.
So what I can mention is even if you look at the Bible, don't take it like an ordinary book, because it is something that is very deep, very deep. And if you just have that urge to try and seek whatever God is trying to explain, God can really unravel many truths. Everything about life, physical, spiritual, the question about why life is like this, and the explanation is from the Bible, because even before I had a science background, but even after coming to the point of understanding this one, I felt it is universal. It's not just the spiritual part, it actually answers many things about life. So I really urge many people outside there, if really you have that heart, I believe when you come to the point of understanding, God is going to give that kind of maybe tranquility and even that peace, because many things that you never knew about life can be able to be answered through the Bible. So what I can urge, wherever you are, we have many social media handles, we have many branches, and even through our host and even through the channel, if really you can be able to dedicate that time, I believe when you come and learn, it is something that is not going to be in vain. So I really urge many people, they can come and listen, and also through this, they'll feel it is going to be a blessing. Not just from the knowledge part, it is going to really turn their life around, so they can just try it out, and then they're going to feel the change after they come in.
So those were few words of wisdom. So kindly our viewers, just even based by what we give each and every day, there are something that it may take much time even to internalize the information. So just take this chance, even visit the center, and even you get now much understanding, because mostly on these our videos they're not like that really sharp, but they could just compress kidogo sound like vizuri. So but anyway, that's the end of our show, and I hope to meet then next time. So goodbye.